told me he felt cheated by the author. He felt cheated by the author.
Cheated by the author.
Cheated. He felt cheated by the author. I was taken aback. I will tell you. I was taken aback. Now tell me, what is the meaning of the expression taken aback? Taken aback. First class. I was shocked. This is why I told you are in the intermediate proficiency level. Because if you are in the big...
Yes, life is a mixture of good things and bad things, ma'am. So we have to cope up with both the things and always look at positive sides. Then only you can go ahead in life in a good manner.
Take a step back and see where you went wrong. Something happened in your case. You cannot blame everyone around you for your bad luck or your misfortune. You have to examine yourself first. So where I went wrong was when you want to start a fire. If you want to start a fire, you ignite.
Yes.
You get it? You ignite a fire. So that is how this is like a fire. It's like a spark. A conversation is like a spark. So good books spark great conversations.
Laid back.
Now, so lazy is laid back. Lazy is someone who is like, okay, supposing now we've finished eating our food and the dishes are lying. Breakfast. So we've had the breakfast and the dishes are lying in the sink. And lunchtime also the dishes have not been washed. So that is someone who's being lazy. So being overconfident and egoistic does not get you anywhere. It will only take you to the bottom of the ocean. That is the number one thing. Number two, don't take anything for granted. Hi Shweta, so nice to see you. How are you doing?
Same here, ma'am.
It's been a very long time and I was thinking, oh God, will I ever see Shweta again? It's been so long since I've met and I was so happy to see you.
Happy to connect with you.
I know, absolutely. How are you doing? I love your outfit as usual. Excellent. Color is amazing. Very, very beautiful color. Yeah, I love it very much. And I've been seeing, I've subscribed to your channel on YouTube. And I've been seeing your updates as well. And I said, oh, she's really going places. She's become very popular and she's doing well for herself. So I was very happy. I said, oh, that's nice. I'm glad. I'm really glad. Thank you very much for uploading my videos as well. They've also gotten some pretty good responses. So that's very good. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I should tell you, I have a channel now on Instagram and on YouTube as well. Maybe I should tell you this. It's called Speak with Neetu. I'll just type it for you in the chat box. Speak with Neetu.
Okay, ma'am.
It's on YouTube and it's on Instagram. So what I do is I do these short videos which give you different words and expressions which express the same meaning under different situations, for different situations. So you can check it out. I hope you like what you see.
Surely, that's why I wanted to have a session with you. I have learned a lot of things in my last sessions, and it really gives me a lot of knowledge. How to improve myself, how to speak in a good way. So your way of teaching impressed me so much. So that's why I again want to have session with you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. So tell me what's been happening in your life ever since we last spoke. Anything interesting has happened in your life, or is there something that you really specifically want to talk about that happened in your life?
Yes, life is a mixture of good things and bad things, ma'am. So we have to cope up with both the things and always look at positive side. Then only you can go ahead in life in a good manner. So yes.
Yes, tell me.
As far as English is concerned, I'm not putting. I feel that whenever I put my effort, I feel that it's less, Shweta. You need to put more efforts. So, but due to a lot of things, we need to prioritize. So that time, that things I am lacking. But one day, I will definitely achieve my goal. So that faith is inside on me. So one day I will achieve my goal definitely. And if I continue talking with people like you, it will help me. It will helping me a lot.
For sure. Absolutely. Thank you so much. That is truly high praise from you. I really appreciate that. I think, Shweta, if you have motivation, And I know what you said about the fact that there are you want to focus on learning the language and you want to be able to learn the language and speak it beautifully. And you are actually doing a very good job because the thing is you have improved so much from the time that we last spoke to now. I mean, like I can see there's an improvement in the way you speak. So, and I really mean that. So the thing is that it goes to show the kind of hard work and dedication that you are putting in into learning the language. And that's not something that everyone has. So something I would like to recommend to you before we actually proceed further is I think you should start reading some books. And I think, in my opinion, I don't recommend any motivational or self-help books because motivational books, can I be honest with you, are books that are very easy. They're very easy to read, and the vocabulary is also very simple. This is what I have noticed, and I find them very boring. Sorry. So, because I love books. For a very long time, I have been reading books from the time I was a child, and I attribute
Oh,
yeah, I love books. When I read books, Shweta, I go into a completely different universe. Then I forget everything around me. Seriously. I know it's very difficult for you to imagine that, or for anyone to imagine that, but that is the actual truth. I'm genuinely meaning this. So, in my opinion, because a couple of my students, they've also purchased some of the books that I have asked them to, and they were really happy with it. So, I will type a few books for you in the chat box. One of the books is called The Drive. These are
the
all
drive.
thrillers, by the way. They're all
Thrillers.
suspense and thrillers, just for your information. So it's called, one is called The Dry, another one is called Force of Nature. Both of these books have
Force
been
of
written by an author. Yeah, A Force of Nature. These books have been written both by an author called Jane Harper. So either take a screenshot or write it down, it's your choice. But Jane Harper is a phenomenal author. She's an exceptional author. So you will not guess what is going to happen next. You understand what I'm saying? It's like it's unbelievable. The Dry is, I have to be honest, a little sentimental, but the sentiment is less, and the thriller aspect is more. But I'm just letting you know, especially as women, we find it a little sentimental. But I don't want to reveal what the plot is about. I think you should, in my opinion, buy both the books, and they're available on Amazon and on Flipkart. One of my students was telling me, madam, Flipkart has better options, as in it's much more economical on Flipkart as opposed to Amazon. I don't know. I always do all my purchasing on Amazon, so I really don't know. But yeah, so anyways, he told me this. So you can check out both options and see. They should come within the 300 rupee range, each book. So I think you should check that out. Another book that I would recommend is The Friend, and also I Am Watching You. Now, these two
I am
books,
watching.
they are also thrillers, but they are a little more simpler. I do not know if simple is the right word to use, but how do I say this? I'm not saying that the other books are complicated, but the language used here is a little more simple. Both the books, the language is
For
simple, but
beginners. Yes, people like me
I
easily understand.
Well, actually, for you, Shweta, I personally think you are okay to go into the Dry and Force of Nature. I really don't think you have a problem. But these two books are also wonderful books, by the way. These are also thrillers, The Friend and I Am Watching You. These are written by this woman called Teresa Driscoll. I've written those also in the chat, so you can take a screenshot of that or write it down, whatever's convenient for you.
Video
She's
is
also very good author.
already recorded, ma'am. So I will watch later, and I know
Oh,
about all these things.
okay.
So
Because I thought the chat transcript will not be available in the
yes,
recording.
yes.
That's the reason. Is it available, the transcript?
No, transcript. Yes, but video is already available. You are saying all the information, so I get easily
Oh, like that.
through your.
Okay, okay, got it.
Yes.
Okay. I was just thinking maybe with the spellings and all of that. That was the reason as to why I was saying. And if you want to check out the spelling and all of those things, that's the reason I was saying. Okay. So the friend and
But
I am
social
watching you
media
on.
and everything is so easily. Whenever you put only keyword, they will provide you all the information regarding
You're
this.
right.
So it's
You're
very
right.
easy
You're
to
absolutely,
search nowadays everything.
yes.
And I
You're
will
absolutely
definitely
right.
subscribe your channel and on Instagram as well, because I
Oh,
want to
thank you.
learn lot of things from you, ma'am. Really,
Thank you. Thank
you
you.
are so inspiring. And I also already I have watched your videos in foreign country. You visited there. You present in a good way. So I have already watched. You
Oh,
created a lot of food vlogs with your kids.
food
You
blog.
celebrated your birthday. So So I
Yes.
already watched your videos because I was so
Thank you.
curious to know about you and your family. You
Uh,
have a sweet family, ma'am. You have
Thank you. Thank you.
very good. I have already watched on YouTube as well. Only two
Thank you.
or
But
three
the
videos you have uploaded.
yeah.
I guess. Yes, yes.
No, the Speak with Neetu is a completely different channel. That channel that you watched was for
Okay,
my food. So Speak with Neetu is now my official English channel. I do not want to mix everything, Shweta, because I thought there are a lot of people
okay,
who want to learn the language. Like, for instance, you. Now, you are actually, in my opinion, in the intermediate proficiency level. That means you haven't reached the advanced, but you are definitely much better than the basic proficiency level. Correct? But the thing is, there are some
thank
people
you,
woo are
ma'am.
still at
Thank
that.
you.
No, really, I
If
mean
you
it.
are
I
saying
really mean
that,
it.
I still feel that I'm a beginner. I every time I feel that this is Shweta, this is your day one. You have to achieve milestone. So
Yes.
this is your day
No,
one.
that is the way you should. That is the attitude you should have. Because even when I come in, believe it or not, Shweta, every day when I sit here and when I teach, not just you but any of my students, I always come in with the attitude that today is my first day as a tutor. And you won't believe it how many people I have learned from, even including students like you, because you are extremely inspiring. And that is, I really mean that. And I'm not just saying that. For instance, I'll give you an example. My previous students, actually. So, what happened was he bought a book that I asked him to buy, but I haven't written that book here on purpose because that is a psychological thriller. So, I would recommend don't read that now. In my opinion, you buy any one of these four books that I mentioned. You buy one or two books. In my opinion, buy one of Jane Harper's books and one of Teresa Driscoll's books. So you have a flavor of both. So in my opinion, I think you should
Okay,
buy The Dry. The Dry is written by
dry.
Jane Harper. Yeah, The Dry. And you buy I Am Watching You by Teresa Driscoll. So you buy both these
Okay,
books. This is my opinion. Now, this guy, okay, he bought a book called The Silent Patient. That is a
silent,
psychological thriller, and
silent
he,
first.
The Silent Patient.
Okay.
Believe me, Shweta, if you have never read a thriller in your life, believe it or not, you will be engrossed. I'm going to type the word here, engrossed. Engrossed
Engrossed.
means you
Yes.
will be
You indulge, involve,
no, addicted. You
addicted.
will be
Okay.
addicted. You will
Addicted.
be addicted.
Okay.
So I have actually done a video on this, by the way, the different words for that. Engrossed, riveted, riveting. Like, for instance, you will find the book riveting. 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 That means it is interesting. It is a very
Interesting.
engaging book. This book, it's called The Silent Patient. Believe me, Shweta, that this is the king of all thrillers, The Silent Patient. Because you will not expect the climax of that book. But the point I'm trying, not movie, sorry, book. The point I'm trying to make is I gave him this book because I wanted him to, not gave him, sorry, I asked him to buy this book. He bought the book. See, I can only recommend. Ultimately, the choice is yours. So I didn't expect him to buy, but he actually said, Madam, I bought the book, and he showed me the book, and I said, okay, first class. Anyway, so he read the book, and you won't believe it. After he finished reading the book, he said, Madam, I never expected the finale, the climax was unbelievable. Okay. That I was also expecting him to say, Shweta, because the climax is unbelievable. Really, I'm telling you. But you know something else he told me? He told me he felt cheated by the author. He felt
Oh.
cheated by the author. So
Cheated
I
by the
was
author.
cheated. He felt cheated by the author. I was
Why?
taken aback. I will tell you. I was taken aback. Now tell me what is the meaning of the expression taken aback?
I was
Taken
shocked.
aback. First class. I was shocked. This is why I told you are in the intermediate proficiency level. Because if you were in the beginning stage, you wouldn't know the meaning. Good for you. So I was taken aback. Sorry, I was shocked, like you said. I said, why?
Hmm.
What do you mean? So he said, no, because he made it sound like as if, and I don't want to say anything further because if I said it, then I will reveal too much and then the suspense is spoiled. Because I want, after you buy any one of these books, I'm going to recommend that book for you to buy. Or you can buy that book now also. But in my opinion, Shweta, I recommend you buy either one of these four books or two of these four books first, and then you
Definitely,
buy
I
that.
will. I will buy, ma'am. Definitely.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
Then
so
what
what
happened?
happened? So yeah. So I told him. So then we were having a debate about it. But believe
Oh,
me, yeah. But believe me, Shweta, I was so happy and I was also emotional because I was thinking to myself, This this student of mine gave me a completely different perspective. He gave me a
Oh,
completely different
book.
perspective that I never even thought. Yes, tell me.
Book is same, but the way you read is different, and perspective you catch from the book is different. Book is same, but a different person read by their own way and grasps different type of opinion, different type of thought, different type of lessons from the same book.
Absolutely. Just one second, Shweta. I dropped my pen. One second. Yes, you're
Okay.
absolutely correct. It's the same book, but what you said is absolutely correct. I just want to give you a small correction there in the way you said. You said book is same, but different people grasp in different ways. So you can say that, you can say like this, different people have different perspectives. I'm typing it for you.
Different
Different people have
perspectives. Yes,
different perspectives of the same book.
of the
You
same
can
book.
read,
Different people have
yeah,
different type of perspective from the same book.
not different types of perspectives, Shweta. Perspectives is already types.
Types. Okay.
Perspectives is already different types. So you don't need to write different types of perspectives, that becomes incorrect. So always write
Okay.
different people have different perspectives of the same book or the
Okay.
same thing. Perspective is also another
I
word for
got it.
opinion.
Opinion.
Got it?
Okay.
Opinion. Perspective is a different word for opinion. So instead of using the word opinion, you can actually use perspective. So different people have different opinions of the same book or different perspectives of the same book, different views of the same book. Views.
Views.
VIEWS. Views.
WS.
So
Yes.
yes, exactly. Perspective, opinion, view, these are all the same. These are all called
Synonym.
synonyms. Exactly.
Synonym.
Perfect. Synonyms. What are synonyms? Different words that give you the same meaning. Those are called
Same
as
meaning.
synonyms.
Yes. Synonym.
Got it?
So
Okay.
what
So,
happened, ma'am, when you debated with that person,
no, no. So ultimately, I
that
said you are
student?
absolutely the students. Yeah, I said no. You are absolutely correct. What you actually said is a very valid point. But you should understand another thing. That is the magic of the author. The author's name
Magic.
is
Magic
Alex.
of.
The
Okay.
author.
Magic of the author. Okay.
Exactly. Because he was the one who confused us. He confused us.
Oh.
He was successful in confusing us. So it is. So he has been successful. We have been defeated, but at the same time, we got a fantastic story out of it. And the moral, so that is what happens. Good books. What I would like to say, I would like to end this by saying, good books spark. Listen to the conversation. Good books spark great conversations.
Okay. Good
Very
books
simple.
spark great conversation.
Exactly. What is the meaning of spark? Spark means ignite.
There is a
Or
light or ray or something.
in this case, it's a very simple meaning. It just means start. Good
Start.
books
Okay.
start great conversations. But instead of just using a very simple word like start, I decided to make it a little more interesting by using the word spark. SPARK.
Spark.
Instead of the word spark, you can also use the word ignite. Good books ignite
Ignite.
great
Oh,
conversations.
exactly. I was thinking the same ignite. And generally we use in science term ignite.
Ignite.
In
Also,
science we use ignite.
when you want to start a fire, if you want to start a fire,
Fire.
you ignite.
Yes.
You get it? You ignite a fire. So that is how this is like a fire. It's like a spark. A conversation is like a spark. So good books spark great conversations. They ignite great conversations or they start great conversations. And that is what a good book does.
Okay, ma'am.
Which is why,
I have a
yeah,
question, ma'am. Like in this social media era, everyone is so busy in their mobile phone and something. So, how is it possible to make is it possible to make interest in books? Because we are so addicted to our mobile phone. So, how you make your habit to read book? I want to know from you.
you are absolutely correct. When you say that people are addicted to social media, in fact, books are also available online. So nowadays
Yes,
people don't even need to actually buy a book. They don't have to spend 300 or 400 rupees or maybe even more to buy a book. They can just read it on their phone. In the comfort of their home, they can actually read it on the phone. But social media or online reading, believe me, is not going to compensate the value that a book brings to your life. Because books not only help in increasing your vocabulary, they also increase your logical reasoning, your thinking, they improve your skills in understanding, in deciphering. So, decipher. What is the meaning of decipher? Decipher means unravel or understand. Supposing you have a complex situation. What is a complex situation? Complex means a difficult situation. So you
Confusing
are able to,
situation.
yeah, exactly, a confusing situation. Exactly. So you can be able to decipher. That means unravel. You can take it out piece by piece
Unreal.
if you read. Yeah, unravel. You
And
can
what about
unravel it.
audiobook, ma'am? Yeah. Again, I'm asking, what about audiobook? What is your opinion about audiobook?
I have zero opinion about audiobooks, really, because I have tried it, Shweta. For me, the joy of holding a book in your hand, feeling the book, smelling the book. I know it sounds something is like I sound like a crazy person when I say this, but believe me, only if you are a book lover will you understand what I'm talking. Like just like I used to do reviews of restaurants. There are so many people who have done reviews of books on social media. You check any one of their platforms. Is there any person who has reviewed an audio book? No one. No one. I challenge you. Everyone will have bought a physical book and they will be reviewing that book. And you should see these book. Another person, another student of mine, he also bought a book. I recommended a book to him called Girl on the Train. I was so
Okay.
shocked, really, and I was so emotional. You know what he did? He showed me the book. Okay, he took up the book like this, and he opened the book, and he has underlined the verbs, the prepositions,
Oh,
the you cannot do that in an audiobook, especially someone like you who wants to improve your vocabulary and who wants to improve your language. How can you do that in an audiobook? Where are you going to highlight or where are you going to know? In a book, you can always keep a bookmark, you can fold the page, you can always refer back to that particular page, and it's so much more better for your eyes. If you look at an audiobook, you have to keep emphasizing the screen, you have to reduce the light. And you cannot lie down and read an audio, at least for me. For me, I always love to
yes.
lie down and read a book instead of about to sleep or all. Since I since I'm talking to you about books, just 1 second.
Mm.
So these are the two books that I was talking about. So one is called The Dry, that is by Jane Harper.
The dry.
This is one. The
Okay.
Dry. This is by Jane Harper. And this is the other book that I was talking to you about. That is I Am Watching You by Teresa Driscoll. So
Wow,
as you
you
can see,
have a
I
lot of book collection, ma'am. Wow. You are a book lover.
oh my god, I am not a book lover. I'm an addict. I'm really addicted to books. Like some people are addicted to alcohol and drugs and all. I am addicted to books.
That is
You
the
see, look,
secret of your good communication skill, as you told me in single line.
yeah,
Book good books starts or spark better communication.
absolutely. Seriously. And those students, and then every single time we have a session, he was always, especially the guy who was reading The Silent Patient, every session, believe it or not, every session he would start by telling me, Madam, I've read 3 pages, and so far this is where I have read. His communication when he started his sessions and after reading the book has improved massively. He no longer uses filler words. I mean, he's still got a while to go, to be fair. Like you, for instance, Shweta, when you started on the platform and now, when I see you today, you're so confident. I've seen your videos, you're so confident, even in the way you respond to people in their comments and all of those things. You are a very confident person, and that is only because of the fact that you have developed that confidence over time. Because you are also practicing outside the platform, you are also practicing doing all these things, correct? So that is the magic or the beauty of a good book. Good books, I stand by what I say. Good books spark great conversations. Audiobooks are totally a killer. I think they kill the reading. Seriously, they kill the reading skills. And absolutely, I really don't think. And I think, if people spend half the time that they spend on social media on these kinds of books, it would make their life so much more worthwhile. Really, I'm telling you. It's a first class, books are really amazing. They just transform you in a whole other path. Really, believe me. You will understand it when you start reading a good book for yourself. That's the only way I
Yes.
can actually convince you.
Yes,
Well,
it's
Shweta,
true.
I can't believe it. It's 12:55. We've been talking and I didn't realize the time was going. I'm so
And
sorry.
today
We didn't.
today we
Yeah,
had to talk about laziness. So regarding laziness, I want to know about, while reading books, sometimes it happens I sleep with along with book, and I feel lazy. So how we overcome these things? Tell me the answer.
I think in my case, I'm also a very lazy person. Okay, so when I think in terms of laziness, I would like to actually introduce a word here.
Layman.
No, no, laid back. L A
Laid
I
back.
D. Laid back.
Laid back.
Now, so lazy is laid back. Lazy is someone who's like, okay, so the supposing now we finish eating our food and the dishes are lying. Breakfast. So we've had the breakfast and the dishes are lying in the sink. And lunchtime also the dishes have not been washed. So that is someone who's being lazy. Okay, that is someone who's being lazy. Someone who is laid back. Someone who's laid back is also
Laid back.
someone who takes everything easy. Oh, it's okay if the dishes are there, so what? I'll get to them later. Don't make a big deal about it. You know, we will take care. Eventually the dishes will get washed, but it will take some time. So sometimes lazy people call themselves laid back people, but I think you should not confuse the two of them. When you're a
Okay.
student, for instance, yeah, when you're a student, for instance, now let's take your example, Shweta. You told me when the session started, Madam, every day I start my every session, I start off by saying, oh, this is my first day in improving my English language. So you are a motivated student. But are you making lazy persons always make excuses? They make excuses about not learning the language or not being able to practice. In your case, you said, I want to practice, madam, but I've got so many other priorities. So I have to take care of those priorities, and then only I can go back into learning the language. So you are someone who is dedicated, who's motivated. But a lazy person will make any number of excuses or any excuse in the book. There is an expression called any excuse in the book. That means plenty of excuses. So I'm just making it sound a
Plenty
little
of
more fancy.
excuses.
Yeah, plenty of excuses means any excuse in the book. So you must be wondering which book is she talking about? Nothing like that. It is just it's a phrase. It's an English phrase. It's a standard English phrase which means any excuse or any possible
Any
excuse
excuse.
or plenty of excuses. That's what it means.
Hmm.
So people will make so I can give you an example. Shweta makes any excuse in the book to get away from doing her task. That means Shweta does not want to do her tasks. Whatever task has been assigned to her, Shweta does not want to do. And for that, she will make any excuse possible. She's okay with it. Because you're a lazy person.
Okay.
You are a lazy
Ma'am,
person.
I want to know, especially what I observe in general people, whenever we get result, like when we get good results, or the way we put effort and we will get good marks, we feel motivated. But when we get demotivated, when we and what we expected and we didn't get that type of result, then we start feeling demotivated and start feeling laziness to get interest to do work. So that time, what to do?
Okay, so what happens is it is very normal behavior to actually be demotivated when you have lost something. This has happened in my case also. But then you need to take a step back and see why did you fail. For instance, now supposing I have failed in an examination, so I will feel demotivated. I'll think to myself, "Oh my God, I worked so hard and still I did not get it." But then I have to.
Yes,
So initially I'll be crying, and initially I'll be very demotivated. I'll feel lazy. I won't feel like talking to anyone. I won't feel like doing anything. But after my mind calms down a bit, I should take a step back and see where did I go wrong. Now, I must have worked hard, but did I study the relevant or necessary portions?
hmm.
Years ago, when I was doing my engineering examination, we had a subject called medical electronics. I loved the subject. Okay, Shweta. I was a topper in my class for every test in medical electronics. I was the topper in my class. But when the final examination came, I was overconfident. I said, "Oh, exam also I will easily get." My teacher was also confident. I am going to be scoring the first for this examination. So, Shweta, when the examination paper came, you won't believe it. I was looking at that paper. I was completely taken aback because I couldn't answer even one question in that paper. It was the final examination, the board examination for engineering. It was in my third year. And I said, what am I going to do? But then again, it was my overconfidence. You should see my ego was again playing there. I thought, if I find this paper difficult, everyone will find the paper difficult. As soon as I finished the examination, I stepped out. My friends were waiting for me. They said, oh, the exam paper was good. No, Neetu, it was great. They said that, and I started crying. I just burst into tears
Oh
because
my.
I was expecting these students to also say, my friends also to say, oh yeah, the paper was tough and all of that stuff. But when they gave a response that I was not expecting, then I realized that I was all alone. Then my friends were consoling me, saying, "No, don't worry," and all that. After I finished crying, it took me a day to sort of get myself back to order. I re-examined where did I go wrong? Why did I find the paper difficult while my friends found it easy? Do you know the reason? Every chapter, I ignored the introduction part.
Okay, introduction.
I went directly into the subject matter because I said, who is going to give questions based on the introduction? The introduction, no
In,
one pays it. That was the biggest mistake. I ignored the introduction in every chapter and went directly into the subject matter. But the examiner gave questions based on the introduction. You get
introduction.
on the
Yes, yes.
introduction. When
Hmm.
the marks finally came, surprisingly, I had 75%. No, I had
Oh my
77%.
God.
Yeah, but I was, and then my friends, then they got irritated. They said, the way you were crying, we thought you were going to flunk the exam. But no, actually, they thought I was going to flunk. Believe me, I also thought I was going to flunk the examination. I told my parents also, I still remember calling them from the hostel and saying, today's examination was definitely a flop. I'm going to flunk the exam. And I even started preparing for the examination. I even started
Oh my
preparing for
God.
it. Can you believe it? And when the results came, I had 77%. But the thing is, Shweta, the moral of the story is I was egoistic. I was overconfident. So being overconfident and egoistic does not get you anywhere. It will only take you to the bottom of the ocean. That is the number one thing. Number two,
Hmm.
don't take anything for granted. When you feel demotivated, like you just now said, Shweta, take a step back and see where you went wrong. Something happened in your case. You cannot blame everyone around you for your bad luck or your misfortune. You have to examine yourself first. So, where I went wrong was I ignored the basic part, the basic introduction part, which was
Introduction part.
actually that was the most important part of every subject, and I ignored that, and that resulted in my I wouldn't say failure, but definitely in my low marks. My teacher was so disappointed. I still remember she was so disappointed. She even during the graduation, can you believe it? She mentioned it. She said, "Neetu, I expected, but that's okay. But of course we're still in touch. But she still remembers after all these years. Think about it. So that is the moral of the story. Always remember, failure happens in everyone's life. What is important is to re-examine yourself where you went wrong and how you can correct it and avoid it in the future. And that is
Hmm.
how you
And
avoid laziness.
hmm. And that was the very crucial time. How you overcome and how you motivate yourself again to go in on track. So
Yeah,
that time we need to overcome our laziness and we should focus on our goal, our
absolutely.
next step.
Absolutely.
So yes, yes.
That's the next. And on that note, oh, we have gone well past our time. But as always, I don't realize where the time goes. But I do hope you found the session informative and fruitful. I know I did
Very,
most of
very
the talking,
informative, ma'am.
but I
And
do
you
hope you
suggested
found
books, so I definitely going to purchase these books.
it.
Thank you so much,
And
ma'am. And I am happy and fortunate and feeling fortunate to talk with you because you are so high qualified person, ma'am. I can
please
learn
don't
many
say
things
that, Shweta.
from you.
Don't say that.
Mm.
Please don't say that. We are all learners. We are all students. Just like you, I am also students. I also have learned so much from you. So please don't say that. Okay? It was my honor and my pleasure. Don't forget to check out the channels. Okay? And please do give me your feedback
Okay,
under
okay,
the videos.
definitely,
Okay.
definitely. Okay, bye.
Take care.
Have a great day.
You too. Bye. Bye.
See